Friendship is worth a sacrifice. I like one of Gandhi's quotes that say, "The law of sacrifice is uniform through all the world. To be effective, it demands the sacrifice of the bravest and the most spotless." My name is Hassan and I'm here to tell you a story of my life and basically about my friendship with Amir. But first, it's essential that you understand that the hard times are the ones that will reveal who true friends are. Once I heard this quote and I felt quite identified with it. Sacrifice means fighting for what you love. And that's what I did. I was often fighting for what I loved and appreciate. The main point of what I'm telling you my story is because I think the hard experience let us transmit lessons and teach people what we already know. The relationship between my friend Amir and me features much of sacrifice, especially on my side, because I always did everything to maintain my loyalty towards him. I thought of him like my real brother. One time, while running, I cried that Amir won with all my strength to defend my brother that was being attacked. I confronted Asef, the neighbor who was a complete bully and rude person. Asef asked for Amir kites, but I resisted, knowing well that nothing good would come out of this resistance. But at this point, I sacrificed myself to please Amir. I did this not only because he was like my brother, but because I knew how important that kite was for him. But what if I didn't put my interest on him? What would have happened to my friend Amir if I would have not sacrificed my life like I did for him? Think. What will possible happen? That's why I'm with all of you telling the story and experience of my life. In the other hand, Asif needs to respect their difference with the society, specifically with my friend Amir, and resolve his problems in a pacific way. If I didn't help Amir, I could feel guilty and he could have died. In the actuality, this world is having a very tough time in the cases of bullying. A more serious example was a real case in the United States of a child who was gay and was bullied all the time in the school, and administrators did not do anything to stop it. But his mother was totally overwhelmed that she told her to take the school as tongue gun to defend himself. Our society is getting worse with these heavy cases of bullying. As a result, the countries should prevent this type of offensive cases and punish these rude boys. Just after, I continue my friendship with Amir, but things start getting weird. It wasn't the same anymore. I'm not trying to say that he was forced to be with me all the time or pretend to like me, but we were like family and it would never change for me. There was this one time that Baba, Amir's father, for Amir 13th party and I was left out. Amir got close with Asef and both were being mean. But I already told you, it wasn't jealously or anything like that. I was just only worried for Amir and the decisions he might make with me. That same day, Amir planted some money and a brand new watch that were given to him for his birthday in my bed, so people think that I had stolen from him. At first, I was confused, shocked. Actually, how are you supposed to turn into such a horrible person? My father and me left the house in Kabul. Amir knew that he was causing great pain to others, including his father. But he did not do anything to correct his misconception he created. After all, Amir just pretended like nothing happened after that moment. He didn't even feel guilty. If Amir had acted differently, maybe my life could have not turned around like it did. And maybe we will still be close friends. If he had told the truth to his father, I had not passed through the awful conditions as a refugee, and then an immigrant. Our friendship was destroyed into millions of pieces, and then I noticed that every time Amir had a problem, as insignificant as it screamed, I was always there for him. On the other hand, If we had continued being friends, I would always feel out of place and completely uncomfortable. Sometimes I just think that it all this happened and Amir decided to act in such a rude way because it was for the best. But maybe it was necessary to show Amir that what he did was totally wrong. The years kept passing and my death came. But before I left a shelf with the main wrap, a lot of different things occurred on my family and me. We're being mistreated and constantly inhumanized. Amir started doing what he could to help my son and protect him from me. Friendship that was once so strong and then shattered, no longer exists and was dead along with me. But Amir wanted to be alive. Amir did everything he could to assume all responsibilities with respect to Sora. My son was grounded emotionally and didn't talk to Amir, who tried everything to make him speak. He even talked to him one day about me, his real father. While we were kite flying, Amir showed off some of my old tricks, and my son began to interact with Amir again. Imagine how different things could be if Amir had not found my child and taken care of him. Saram would still be abused and all by himself, even though Amir and my friendship technical end. We still thought about each other as a family. If Amir had not done all he could to get Sarah, he would be dead or living in cruel conditions. Maybe Amir did because he felt guilty, or maybe because he was truly sorry. Friendship was a real deal for us, and even with my death, our friendship never died. As Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, the only way to have a friend is to be one, and I'm capable to say that I have been a good one. As I already told you, I was constantly willing to do anything to protect Amir. He was not capable of doing the same, but as time passed, he noticed what he did and realized there was no turning back. Then, as a one good friend could have done, he took care of my child, which represents like the most valuable thing one can have. And I'm not trying to objectify my son, but it's the right way to say this. A strong friendship can cross boundaries, and a real one is forever, even when the person is gone.